right, nice with Alice Cooper. I've got Eddie Kramer, fabulous producer who's done just about everybody, and Billy Cox, of course. He worked with, of course, Buddy and Jimi Hendrix. That you can't get much better than that, right there. On a new project that's an old project. Am I right?
An old project that has been refreshed.
Yes, and something everybody will be really interested in because, Jimi Hendrix it goes beyond any kind of generational. Everybody loves Jimi Hendrix because of who he was and what he did with the guitar. And, it seems to be an endless supply of Jimi Hendrix tapes.
Well, it's not endless. It is fairly finite. I can attest to that. But, to pick you up on that comment you made about the Maui movie, which it was originally called Rainbow Bridge. And this was something that Michael Jeffries, who was Jimmy's manager at the time, he put it together. And Jimmy didn't really want to have too much to do with it, but he happened to be in Hawaii, right? Am I right, Billy?
Go ahead.
And he said, he kind of figured out, well, let's get the guys over to Maui and we'll film him a bit, and little did Jimmy know what he was being roped into.
And I'll bet you the technology was probably not real amazingly great at live recordings back then. I remember.
It was an 8-track. They loved it. By the way, this was filmed, and the Jimmy's concert was filmed on the side of a volcano near a school. And there were 50, 60 mile an hour winds blowing. I wasn't there for this. I only got to do the mixing and the overdubbing afterwards, but it was a bit of a nightmare. But when I watched the film today and what's being cut, now it's really, really cool because it shows the complete insanity of what was going on there. Right, Billy?
Right. And they had the ambiance of a generator.
Well, I've got a place in Maui. I know exactly where that is. I know where that school is, everything right there. So, but I can't imagine, I'm looking at some of the film and I can't imagine how many hippies were there. That was a total hippie heaven over there.
It was totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Might have something to do with the grass. Yeah.
Yeah, right. They came in groves.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And what was even stranger is that because of the folks who were putting the movie together, they decided in their inevitable wisdom, let's put all of these folks, 200-300 people, in place because of their astrological sign. So, I mean, when you see this movie, your mind boggles and you start to laugh because of the craziness.
I hope that's in there. I hope that's in there.
Oh, no, it's all in there, man. It's funny.
Because that is funny. Yeah, it's hard enough to put an outdoor concert together without getting people with their signs and this. You're over here. You're a Taurus. You're over there. What are you doing over there? You're supposed to be.
But I have to say, the playing, Jimmy, Billy, Mitch, the three of them played their butts off. I mean, and you could see Jimmy's expression behind you. You can see we're watching it now.
Yeah.
Look how animated everybody is.
Oh,
I mean, Jimmy was happy. It was cool. This was fun.
Yeah.
He thought it was just a fun gig, right, Billy?
Yeah. And the air was full of peace and well-being because of the crowd. They were really well behaved after the music started. They just got into it from beginning to the end.
Oh, and I loved Mitch. Mitch was he was a jazz drummer. I mean, all of his fills were on the snare, almost always, Yeah. What do you weigh, 90 pounds maybe?
If that much.
The first time I met him, I thought he was like, 12 years old, and that was back in the Experience days. Right. So, I mean, those guys look so little. And Jimmy looked like a giant compared to these guys. Yeah. That's amazing. So, you were obviously on a tour at that point. Were you coming back from Europe or coming back from Asia or something?
Not really. We were there basically for getting ready to go to Europe.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Just kind of sprung like Eddie said, it was kind of sprung on Jimmy, but he went on and did it anyway. And that we were supposed to be there for 30 days, R&R, and then we got ready for the European tour of after that.
Oh, okay, all right, that makes sense. Usually people stop there on the way back from Asia, and or on their way to Asia. But
Right.
wow, I mean, first of all, that like I said before, Jimmy's music goes through every generation. You could take kids now and put them in front of a Jimi Hendrix thing, and they would just go, "Oh, this guy is so cool,"
You know why? I think I've thought about this, and he's just as relevant in the 20th century, as he was in the 21st century, because he wrote in the now.
Yeah.
And most of the great ones write in the now, and so his music will be around for a long, long time.
Well, and also guitar-driven rock and roll is all blues, and based anyways.
Right.
And any good rock and roll band started playing blues and then worked their way on up through Chuck Berry and everything. And
That's right.
I mean, Jimmy was just, he could play
He was
blues, he
there.
could play rock, he was psychedelic, he could do all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
Eddie,
incredible.
on your thing now, did you have to take these old, tapes and things and kind of bring them up to date, or did you try to keep it with that feel?
Well, the original movie, the way it was mixed, was from an 8-track tape that was, we did some repairs because the wind was blowing so strongly.
Oh, yeah.
60 miles an hour. You could see all the foam around the microphones. And Mitch's drums, unfortunately, were not recorded that well. I managed to salvage probably about 60% of what he had played. But then when we got the tapes back to Electric Lady Studios in New York, Mitch said, "I can fix this." And we set him up in the studio, same drum kit. And you listen to it 1 or 2 times, and I'd start the tape, hit record. He would just nail it in 1 take, or maybe 2 takes at the very most. Well, Billy, you know how good he is at that kind of stuff, just fixing stuff. And it really has helped. And I've mixed it in a way that it sounds just like it was there. So the sound quality now is definitely improved.
And what about the guitar? Did the guitar get distortion?
Guitar was great. Billy was great. It was just Mitch that was a little funky.
Yeah. Well, when you get that much wind, you would hear all this. I mean, that would be such an ambient noise, layer on there. The constant wind.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah. It's one of those things. I think that when this does come out, how will it be presented? Will it be a Netflix? Will it be on its own? Will it be something that you can pay-per-view or anything like that? What is the media?
I'm thinking it's probably going to be Netflix. If it's not, it's going to be pay-per-view. I'm not really quite sure. It's Sony, I think, is helping this Sony legacy. So we should find out.
Yeah. Well, Netflix is like, if you're on Netflix now, everybody, especially with the virus, you have an automatic audience. But think of all the rockers out there and all the generations that want to see Jimi Hendrix, a new Jimi Hendrix. It's pretty interesting. Every time I think about once a year we get another album. And,
well, we work really, really hard to preserve what's there.
Yeah.
And, it's hours and hours and hours of work.
I'll bet.
We did, I did a remix of Electric Ladyland. I took the multi-tracks of that and mixed it in 5.1 surround sound, which has never been done before.
Right.
And, Jimmy loved experimentation in the studio.
Sure.
And there was one point on Electric Ladyland where by accident, the sound of the guitar jumped to the back of our heads. We were messing around with phasing, and it was just an accident for about 2 seconds. And he said, "What the hell was that?" I said, "I don't know. It just happened." And ever since then, I know if he had been alive, he would have just loved this 5.1 thing. So there's always stuff that we find that we can redo and make Jimmy's music sound huge.
Yeah, it's timeless stuff.
And every kid on the block who wants to become a guitar player says, who do I go to? Oh, Jimi Hendrix. I got to check this out.
Exactly. And the funny thing is, he would be the hardest guy to imitate. You can sound like Clapton if you can play like that, but you can't sound like Jimmy.
No.
Billy Cox and Jimmy together, when they were working upstate New York on putting the songs together, Billy, you should tell them some of the stories how about you would work on riffs together.
Yeah, that's how we composed a lot of those songs. There was one morning I was sitting out on the balcony in the back, and we left our instruments back there. And the only time we brought them in was if there was a rainy, it looked like it was going to rain.
Yeah.
And so I got up early one morning with a bowl of cornflakes and started playing around and tuning up. And all of a sudden I said, da 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 da, Big Ben. The window goes upstairs. Jimmy says, keep playing that. He runs down in his pajamas, no, his skivvies. and so I said, da 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 da. Then he said, da 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 da. I said, okay, where we go from here? Da 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 da. And that was the beginning of
Dolly Dagger. Yeah.
The Big Ben brought it forth, and then we just added a riff after riff, and then went back to and that became a complete song over a couple minutes. And that's how basically we got together with using those riffs that we liked playing together, that it became full manifestation of a song.
Well, a funny thing was especially about that song is that what year was that now that song was on?
1970.
70. Okay. We did Elected, and the record was a big hit, and we listened to it. And then one day I listened to Dolly Dagger, and I went, that's the same riff. Da 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 bum. So after that, I used to say, "That's our tribute to Hendrix here." But honestly, had totally took me by surprise. I heard the Dolly Dagger when I went, "Oh my gosh, it's that same exact riff," and it was like it shocked me. I went, "Oh my!" Oh, and then I started going, "Let me see, when did that come out?" When did we come out? You had us by 5 years.
Yeah, we're ahead of the time.
Well, now we call it our tribute to Jimmy.
Yeah.
Did you know, Alice, that the band recorded Dolly Dagger 3 weeks before Maui?
Oh.
That's why they played it in the show.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. So we're now, Billy. Did you know Noel Redding?
Yeah, I knew him.
Yeah. Now, was it?
That was kind of after everything was over. Jimi Hendrix had us all get together at the thing called Bumper Shoot in Seattle, and I got a chance. We hung out for a while.
Yeah,
and he was a great guy.
Yeah, he was a good guy. Did he just
funny? He could write. He could do his own TV show.
Yeah, he kind of looked like a stalk of broccoli. It was, he was real, he was really skinny, and he had the big afro, and his, him and Brian May kind of looked like a couple of stalks of broccoli.
That's the first time I ever heard that. Okay, I'm taking that one.
You can use it.
So what is next now? How far along are you with this project? What's the next step? Is it almost done?
It's done. The movie's done.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, great. Yeah. So when is it going to be? When is it out?
I think it's next month, right, Billy?
Next month.
Oh, that's great. That is really great. Well, everybody's going to be looking forward to that. Guys, I really thank you for being on Nights with Alice Cooper, because we play you guys so much. Eddie, I don't know how many records of yours we play on the show. I do. I get to pick the music. So you might hear Paul Butterfield next to Iggy Pop, next to Laura Nyro,
Great. That's all right. Do your thing.
And I'll tell you what, Billy, I mean, we play so much Jimmy that you're all over our radio station. So, people are going to be glad to get a face and a name,
Okay.
Guys, thanks. And we'll be looking forward to it. All right.
Looking forward to it.
Thank you, man.
Take care. Thanks for having us.
Bye-bye. Good to see you, Eddie.
Bye-bye.